Grab your cup. What do you think are the components of a great relationship in your life? What have you noticed that's worked really well? What did you wish that was there when it didn't work? So when I think of a great relationship, I think of things like vulnerability, the ability to be vulnerable, meaning go below the surface, share what you're really thinking and feeling about, what your fears are, what's happened to you that you try to hide from other people. It's vulnerable to share those things. So the ability to give and receive vulnerably in whatever it is you talk about and to share your heart. I think another important thing is communication. Having it, first of all, and how well you do it. So being willing to communicate and being able to let the other person express themselves and their point of view, even if you totally don't agree with it, even if you don't understand it, but just being able to hear the communication. And then I think another thing that's really important with relationships is the ability to say, don't worry, we're not going to be hurt just because you're hurt. Like whatever the conflict is, you have something you're upset about, we can get through it together. So the ability and the willingness to move through conflicts as a team, I think is super important. And what stops that is defensiveness, not great communication, things like that. So in the course of my life, what I found, my passion has always been health, because I came from a family where health wasn't great. My father was an alcoholic and a smoker. My mother had autoimmune, multiple sclerosis, and died when she was very young. I was very, very young, 4 years old. So I always was passionate about what is it that makes people well and healthy and thriving? Why didn't we have that? So I've always been on that inquiry and in that journey. And interestingly enough, as someone who was so passionate about that, I had my own health challenges in my 20s, digestive issues, autoimmune conditions. And as I went after that, dove deeply into education and really finding the answers, what I learned is that health and relationships, when either one of those are not working, it's the same root cause. It's the same root cause. If you're lucky enough to have both of those things working, yay you. Share this video with somebody who doesn't. Or if you have health issues, but feel like your relationship is fine, or you have a lot of relationship issues, you've gone through different relationships, but you feel like your health is pretty good, then I would say that's great. The likelihood, unless you address these root causes, is you're going to see those issues show up in those other areas, in the other area of your life. For me, it showed up in both areas. The root cause was the root cause, and I saw the consequences in both my physical body, my health, and in my relationships. And the root cause is really your nervous system, because the nervous system is the commander in chief of everything. So the nervous system is going to tell digestion, your digestive system, whether to work or to shut down, getting your nutrients, blocking things from entering your bloodstream, things that are in the foods that you eat, chemicals, pesticides, anything else. The digestive system blocks that unless it's not working well. The immune system, its job is to go after things in the body that shouldn't be there, create a barrier and fight things. If there's no bacteria or viruses, but your nervous system is in fight mode, the immune system will fight yourself, which is autoimmune. That's what happens. And then in relationships, the nervous system will tell which part of the brain to kick in. So if the nervous system is working well, then the part of your brain that is great at problem solving and communicating and being creative and listening without being defensive, that part of the brain will work. When the nervous system is not working well, then the other part of the brain, fight or flight, shut down, run and hide, fight, all of those things are going to be what shows up in your behavior and your choices. And you can see how, I think, that would affect your relationships. So when you're thinking about this conversation, if you're listening to this, it's really easy to think about other people. oh yeah, that's how they were. I'm inviting you to think about how you are. How are you? Because if you're somebody who shuts down and stops talking, who doesn't share their emotions, who is always defensive and looking for a fight, or someone who is hyperly vigilant about everybody else, what do they need? What do they need? What do they need? Always like worrying about everyone else and then avoiding looking at themselves. Those are all behaviors that come from a dysregulated nervous system. That's the way you learned to feel safe. When your nervous system got turned on, there's a problem. The relationship workshop this month is really about all of those foundational aspects of us. The nervous system regulation, the way that that shows up. It might apply to your health, but the focus of this month's workshop will be on relationships. So if you have had cycles and patterns in your relationships where the same kinds of issues keep showing up, or you feel like you keep choosing the same kind of person. Maybe you've been in a couple significant relationships over the course of your life, and the person, even though they were different, had a lot of the same qualities. The place to look is here, not out there. What am I doing? How do I cope? How is my nervous system working such that I keep seeing things in a particular way and keep creating the same problems in my life? So I'm going to put the link for the workshop here with this video, or if you don't see it, whatever reason, just in the comments, put workshop. And anybody who comes will get the replay. I'm sorry, anybody who registers, whether you can come live or not, you will get the replay. So if you're really interested in looking at the patterns in your relationships, July Relationship 101 is the workshop, and I would love to have you there. We're going to lay it all out. We're going to break it down. We're going to look at those patterns, get some insight on yours and how to change them, some specific tools on how to change those patterns. Okay? I hope to see you there. Have a good day.